I was the backup plan for 3 different men. First, there was my childhood best friend. His heart was still tethered to his high school crush. Then came the lead singer of an indie band. After a one-night thing, he flicked ashes from his cigarette and said, "We're just friends, right?" And my boss, who had made it painfully clear with a cold stare, "Don't get any ideas. I'll only marry someone from a family of equal standing." On top of that, my mom ramped up her blind date campaigns. Suddenly, my childhood friend was knocking at my door with a marriage license. The rock star was blowing up my phone, insisting he couldn't live without me. And my boss was down on one knee, a diamond the size of a pigeon's egg gleaming in his hand. Really? I thought we all agreed this was supposed to be fun. Mom called again, hammering me about another blind date. I know, I muttered, trying to end the call. "Just text me the details." Alex came out of the bathroom as I hung up, sleeves of his beige cashmere sweater rolled up. He was carrying my soaking laundry, heading to the balcony to hang it in the sun. "Who was that?" I asked. "My mom," he replied, adjusting my lingerie so it caught the morning light. The glow framed him perfectly, turning his amber eyes into warm autumn leaves. "So, you won't be home for dinner tonight. I made fish and some vegetables. The fish will stay warm on the stove. Just microwave the veggies," he said, ruffling my hair with a gentleness that made my chest ache. I murmured something vague as he grabbed his bag and walked toward the door. I knew exactly where he was headed. His one true love was flying in from London today. I lived with Alex. He treated me like I was precious, hand-washing my delicates, cooking my meals, making my life effortless. But none of it was romantic. His heart belonged to Ava. Technically, that made me the backup. Once, I had more self-respect, but I'd read too many cheesy YA novels about average girls and devoted boys next door, and I convinced myself, that's us. We'd grown up inseparable. He was kind, patient, thoughtful. I was average, looks, grades, personality. But he had always been there, walking me home, helping with homework, bringing snacks for my friends, urging them, "Be patient with Rosie." I let my teenage heart get carried away. I kept a diary, knitted scarves for him, baked him cookies. Then came graduation night. Alex arrived at the class party with flowers and a gift. The karaoke room was chaotic, but when he sang a soft, heartfelt ballad, the room went quiet. "I just want to tell you," he said into the mic, eyes scanning the crowd, "that I really, really like you." "I like you too," I blurted out, standing before him. "Ava," he finished. The room froze. Every eye was on me. My face burned, and I muttered an awkward, "Excuse me," and fled. Through the door crack, I saw them, the class president and my best friend, standing on the stage. "Kiss her," someone shouted. He leaned down softly. "May I?" She nodded, blushing. I didn't watch the rest. After that, I avoided Alex like the plague. He showed up at my house once. I tried to escape, but he grabbed my wrist, firm and steady. "Rosie, I've always thought of you like a sister," he said. "A sister?" The same boy who hovered close enough to feel my breath while helping with homework? Mixed signals at their finest. I plastered on a smile. "It's fine, Alex. You're a great brother. Thanks for everything." He gazed at me with those big, sad puppy dog eyes. "So you're not mad? You'll stop avoiding me?" "Of course," I said. Then I applied to college on the opposite coast. "See ya." For 4 years, Alex and I remained friends. I replied to his text days later. He answered mine immediately. He promised visits. I booked trips to avoid him. After I graduated, he was transferred to my city. I was exhausted, drowning in work and office politics, barely sleeping. When I opened my door to a mess of takeout boxes and laundry, there he was, dressed impeccably, holding a bag of fruit. He spotted the dark circles under my eyes and smiled that familiar, gentle smile. "I knew you weren't taking care of yourself. What are you doing here?" I snapped, barely holding it together. He nudged me aside and entered, starting to wash the fruit, as if he owned the place. "I didn't say you could come in," I grumbled. He handed me a bowl of strawberries. "Sit. Eat." Before I could argue, he started cleaning, dishes, shower drain hair, the mess in my bathroom cabinet. 4 hours later, I sat in a sparkling clean living room, warm sunlight spilling over a bowl of homemade chicken noodle soup. He wore a teddy bear apron, sweating lightly, smile warm as ever. "What's going on, Alex?" I asked. "Rosie, I've been taking care of you since we were kids," he said. "I hope your girlfriend doesn't come here and murder me," I said, eating quietly. His expression faltered. Ava and I broke up long ago. She went to grad school in London. I lowered my gaze to my soup, keeping silent. By this point, I'd somehow become the backup plan for yet another guy, Chris. They say one coincidence is just chance. Two? That's a pattern. If I was someone's backup once, okay. But twice maybe, just maybe, they were my backup plans too. After Alex and I patched things up, we moved into a larger apartment, separate bedrooms, naturally. But now that his one true love was back, staying felt impossible. The place was too big for one person anyway. Time to find a new space. I packed a small bag and decided to track down Chris. He knew the city inside out, so he was my best lead. I entered his apartment, punching in the door code. Chris was just emerging from the bathroom, a towel hanging low at his hips, steam clinging to his skin. A droplet traced down his torso, disappearing beneath the towel. He grinned, effortlessly charming, and headed for the fridge to grab a beer. "Aren't you worried I could be a burglar?" I asked. He laughed, rasping from the cold drink. "You're the only one who has my code." I cleared my throat, remembering why I was there. "I came to..." Perfect timing. He wrapped me from behind. The scent of his soap hit me, warm and intoxicating. Even the water dripping from his hair seemed to set my skin alight. "Just got out of the shower," he murmured, lips grazing my ear. "Extra clean." When I came to hours later, it was dark. I was wearing only his oversized shirt, and the marks on my skin glowed in the dim light. I should have known better. Every visit to Chris ended like this. I stumbled to the balcony. He leaned against the railing, an unlit cigarette poised lazily on his lips. Twilight framed him perfectly, handsome, magnetic, a little melancholic. Even knowing he was a player, I wanted to soothe whatever secrets he hid. "Why aren't you smoking?" I asked. "Quitting," he said, curling a smile. "Just holding it for the oral fixation." I raised an eyebrow. "So sudden?" "Someone told me to stop," he said, casually tossing the cigarette into the trash. "This time, I think it might be serious." Chris was an indie band's lead singer, beginning to make a name for himself. Charming, generous, and mesmerizing, he made you feel like the center of his universe. I met him in college, after swearing off dating post-Alex. Meeting him felt like jumping from tutorial level straight into the final boss. He was a master at seduction, a glance, a touch, a whispered word. Within a month, I was hooked, convinced I was his unofficial girlfriend. It wasn't long before I learned the truth. I woke to early morning light, the balcony aglow, and a phone buzzing nonstop with messages from others. My hands trembled as I scrolled through notifications, text after text from women vying for his attention, even cash requests. Chris entered, shirtless, the faint marks on his body a reminder of last night. "You awake?" he asked, smiling lazily. I held up his phone. He shrugged, casual. "Pick a chat," he said. "It was a bet. You were the prize." I wanted to cry, to laugh, to thank him. "You liked it too," he murmured, voice low. I smacked him hard. Tears streamed, but I didn't break down entirely. Later, I regretted not being angrier. 2 heartbreaks in a row. Enough. I buried myself in work, pursuing an accelerated master's program, hair falling from stress. One night, Chris called, drunk and pleading. Rage flared. I grabbed a cab, ready to confront him. When I arrived, he was leaning in the doorway, grinning. I pushed him onto the sofa, letting my anger out. He took it, teasing me lightly, whispering with watery eyes, "Still hit just as hard, Rosie." We fought and kissed and argued in a messy, chaotic rhythm, somehow still connecting. Morning came. Chris sat on the bed, smoking. "We're still good friends, right?" he asked. "Get lost," I replied, calm. "Want a ride?" "Sure." That was the beginning of our unconventional arrangement. I had 2 rules, protection and regular testing. Chris was intoxicating, untamed, free, beautiful, even when crying. Outside the bedroom, he was distant and composed, a player through and through. I overheard a soft laugh from the living room. A girl with long black hair in a white dress. Gardenia-like, fresh and delicate. Chris had changed, quitting smoking for her. I scrolled through my phone, waiting, watching them say goodbye. When they left, I stepped out. "We shouldn't see each other anymore," I said. His smile flickered, then returned. "That move doesn't suit you." I ignored him, heading for the door. I returned home late, heating Alex's leftovers. He wasn't there. His message explained he'd gone out of town for work. I smiled at his careful instructions and scrolled through social media, seeing Ava's post about him flying back to town for her. It stung a little. Work dragged. Gossip swirled. Nicholas Sterling, my boss, the office ice king, loomed like a frozen mountain, terrifying but fascinating. I had started sleeping with him after a drunken client dinner, a messy, unplanned night that had left both of us in uncharted territory. Normally composed, Nicholas became clumsy, vulnerable, intoxicating. One impulsive kiss turned into another, and I realized I wasn't playing the role of a good girl anymore. The next morning, I woke feeling like I'd just survived a boxing match. The shower ran, and I reached for my phone, but the water cut off. Nicholas stepped out in a hotel robe, the belt tied snugly, the deep V-neck hinting at the memory of last night. "You're awake?" His tone was flat, his expression unreadable. "Yes," I mumbled, meek as a mouse. He sat in the armchair, scrolling on his phone. "Rosie, your work performance is adequate. You have a certain grounded quality. I thought you'd be a safe choice. In other words, plain." My phone buzzed, another payment notification. My eyes widened. "Adult life and alcohol sometimes produce low-probability errors," he said clinically. "I don't want this to get complicated." "An error that needs correcting," I replied immediately. "In the office, we're boss and employee. In private, sex and money. Simple." I barely processed his words. He leaned over the bed, eyes dark and cold. "Don't get any ideas. I will only have a relationship with a woman of equal standing." After he left, I just lay there, basking in the warm glow of the unexpected bank transfer. His words barely registered. Zero impact. I had no experience with this sort of arrangement. Nicholas wasn't demanding. He just expected me to be available when he called. As soon as it was over, he'd tell me to go, no matter how exhausted I was. His technique was fine. Bedside manners, terrible. For about 6 months, this became our rhythm. On his birthday, I decided to get him a gift. Online advice was scattered. In the end, I settled on custom cufflinks, expensive and time-consuming. My dedication was admirable or pathetic, depending on how you saw it. I handed him the jewelry box after my morning report. "Happy birthday, Mr. Sterling." He studied the box, expression unreadable. "Thank you," he said, but didn't take it. "Rosie," he continued, sharp and cold, "I told you this wouldn't progress further. No need for games. Focus on your work. Don't cross the line." "Understood, sir," I said, bowing slightly, starting to take it back. "Leave it there," he said. I stormed off, cursing him silently. Ignoring his birthday annoyed him. Acknowledging it annoyed him too. That day at work was hell. I stayed late, exhausted, when I ran into the cleaning lady. She was holding a small box, familiar. "Good evening," I said. She opened it with awe. The cufflinks gleamed. "Mr. Sterling threw this away. Well, it was in the trash." I asked him, and he said I could keep it. "Isn't it beautiful?" "Yes," I said, forcing a smile. "It looks very valuable." She shook her head in disbelief. "These rich people." I told her to head home. Rain was coming. I watched her leave, chuckling at her unexpected windfall. The elevator reflected my forced smile. Furious. He could have said he was discarding it. I'd have taken it back. A month's salary gone. I decided then I would get my money's worth from him. Valentine's Day, I tested him. I sent a link to a coat I wanted. He replied with a single question mark. Another question mark. I hesitated, then the coat was paid for, and a bank transfer arrived, 5 times its price. I thanked him, stunned. I learned not to overreach. Too much, and he'd mock me. I calibrated my requests to my worth. Sometimes, his gaze held subtle disgust at my lack of ambition. Yet the things he gave of his own volition were far beyond what I dared ask. Eventually, I stopped asking. Even his scraps covered months of rent. Damn rich people. Being a backup plan wasn't so bad. Life was surprisingly comfortable. I could even smile at colleagues scheming against me. A little humiliating, yes, but as Garfield might say, Nicholas, my walking ATM, Chris, my reckless distraction, Alex, my domestic angel. What more could a girl want? Losing Alex and Chris was inconvenient. Losing Nicholas, though, that was a disaster. Money was my real love. The idea of losing a steady income was painful. After a meeting, I was chatting with a colleague while carrying a stack of files. I didn't notice Nicholas still at the head of the table. When I returned to my desk, my phone was missing. I must have left it in the conference room. Nicholas was alone when I went back. Mr. Sterling, I said, surprised. He grunted without looking up. I think I left my phone here. The table was empty. I checked under my chair. Nothing. Maybe at my desk? I muttered, backing out. It's here, he said, tapping the table. My phone was in his hand. Thanks, I'll just get back to work. That was a clumsy move, he commented. I glanced at my phone. 2 messages from my blind date. Saturday, 10 a.m., Sea Cloud Cafe. I used to think your lack of ambition was charming, Nicholas said coldly. Now, it seems you've lost your only virtue. Rosie, I can't be with you. This ends here. I nodded. Okay. He seemed taken aback. I walked away. All 3 gone in a single day.
Clean break.
I practically skipped out of the conference room. It was over. Losing my ATM hurt, but as my mom always said, out with the old, in with the new. Time to live normally. I replied to the blind date. Okay. He responded instantly. Looking forward to meeting you. I started apartment hunting, scheduling viewings for the weekend. Saturday, I got up early, did my makeup, and checked the mirror. Effortlessly chic as always. I arrived at the cafe early, ordered a latte, and waited by the window.
My phone rang.
Unknown number. Hello. Rosie. Chris's voice, rough like sandpaper. What do you want? Where are you? If it's not important, I'm hanging up. I just want to see you. Chris, we talked. You said we were just friends, serious with someone else. What's the problem now? Silence, then the click of a lighter.
She left.
Said she couldn't forget you. I laughed. And that's my problem, how? I was wrong, he said. I never should have let you go. I'm an idiot. Stop. I'm not interested in the reformed bad boy routine. Live your life, I'll live mine. What new life? I spotted a man in a white shirt approaching. Handsome, calm, scholarly, my blind date. I made sure Chris could hear. A life with dates, marriage, kids. I hung up, blocked him, and sighed in relief. Ms. Hayes? Dr. Chen? He smiled, sitting across from me. Sincere and calm, no calculation, just genuine interest. Conversation flowed easily. You're very interesting, he said as we left. And you're steady, I replied. Can we see each other again? Of course. As I turned toward the subway, a black Maybach pulled up. Nicholas's icy face appeared. Get in, he commanded. We're over, I said. Get in, he repeated, eyes sharp. I stepped in. The familiar cold scent hit me. Who's that man? A friend. Friend, he sneered. You move on fast. Mr. Sterling, I said, voice dripping sarcasm. Transactional relationship. Over. Strangers. He looked at me, eyes narrowing. A dentist, stable, clean history. Good for marriage.
Yes.
Better than a capitalist who throws money and sneers at people. The car chilled. So, desperate to marry? Why not? I'm not your dirty little secret forever. I gave you money.
Yes.
But now I want a normal life. Problem. He said nothing. The car stopped at my new building. Get out. I did, leaving him behind. I assumed Nicholas would throw a tantrum and leave me alone.
Wrong.
At work, he started micromanaging. Reports rewritten 3 times, public criticism of my proposals. Then he made me fetch coffee. Your coffee, Mr. Sterling, I said. Who told you to wear that? Standard office attire. Too short. Don't wear it again. I forced a smile. Yes, Mr. Sterling. And that mark on your neck? A faint hickey from Chris. I covered it quickly. Did he do this? I didn't answer. You're something else. Leave me. You're with someone else. We're over, I said. I didn't agree. You're mine. I'm not. You are. He kissed me hard. I struggled. When he released me, I gasped. You're insane. I am. And you'll never leave me. I thought, he's lost it. Apartment hunting continued. The last one, luxury, downtown, 1 bedroom. Perfect. I said yes. That night, moving alone, exhausted, Alex showed up. I'll help, he said, lifting a box effortlessly. Thought you were out of town, I said. I came back early. Why move? My lease ended. I lied. He didn't press. You should have told me, he said, producing a small box, a digital watch I gave him years ago. I realized I can't live without you.
Give me another chance.
I shook my head. Too late. We can't go back. His light faded. I'm not giving up. I thought my new life had started. Wrong again. At work, a giant bouquet of blue roses. To my queen and colleagues buzzing. I tossed them. 10 minutes later, identical bouquet. Note. Throw these away, I'll buy the shop. Chris tried to win me back at lunch. Rosie, the sweet and sour pork here is good. Why are you here?
To win you, he said, smiling.
I don't love you. I'll make you. I ignored him. Michael, the dentist, invited me to a movie. I agreed. Leaving work, 3 cars blocked my path. Nicholas, Chris, Alex. Stop, they said together. Nicholas grabbed my left arm. Chris, my right. Alex stood in front. What do you want? I want you, Nicholas. I want you, Chris. I want to care for you, Alex. I laughed. What about before? Sister, friend, transaction? Did anyone ask me?
Silent.
Miss Hayes? Michael stepped forward, movie tickets in hand. The movie's starting. Come on. I took his hand. He was my savior. Okay, I said, walking away, leaving the chaos behind. The movie was dreadful. I couldn't concentrate. Something on your mind? Michael asked. No. I lied. Because of those 3? I stayed silent. If they're bothering you, I can handle it, he said, smiling. The next day, the world was quiet. No flowers, no Chris at lunch, no Alex at the door.
Peace.
A week later, a package arrived. Inside, 3 folders. Evidence of Nicholas's company evading taxes, proof that Chris's band had stolen their hit song, and documents exposing corruption in Alex's ex-girlfriend's family. At the bottom, a note. Now they won't bother you. Signed, Michael. My blood ran cold. He wasn't just a mild-mannered dentist, he was dangerous. Why did you do this? I asked. For you, he said, soft as ever. I didn't want you unhappy. This is illegal. Worth it for you, he replied. I froze. Why did I always attract psychos? Destroy it. I don't need this, I said. Why not hate them? I don't want them harmed. You're too soft, he said. Softness with your enemies is cruelty to yourself. They're not my enemies.
They are.
Anyone who tries to take you from me is my enemy. I mailed the files to the 3 men with a note. You've been warned. The next day, they were all at my door. Did you send this? Nicholas demanded. I nodded. Where did you get it? Chris asked. That's not important. What matters is what happens if it leaks. Silence fell. I want nothing to do with you, I said. From now on, strangers. No, Alex said. I can't live without you. Me neither, Chris said. I'll handle my chaos, but I can't let you go. Nicholas's eyes held a possessive gleam. What will it take for you to leave me alone? We won't, they said together.
Fine.
You won't, huh?
I said.
Then sort it out yourselves. Whoever wins gets me. I slammed the door. Quiet returned.
For now.
The following weeks were wild. Headlines blared daily. Nicholas's company under IRS investigation. Chris's band sued for plagiarism. Alex's ex-girlfriend's family facing corruption charges. Michael, I suspected, was behind it all. They weren't giving up. Nicholas rebuilt his empire, taking over competitors. Chris tearfully admitted his mistakes at a press conference, going solo. Alex leveraged connections to get his ex's family out of the country. And yet, they still tried to win me over. Cars, flowers, private concerts. Michael always lurked in the background, reminding me that they were all terrible, but he wasn't. Exhausted by this soap opera, I called a meeting. All 4 were in my tiny living room, glares flying. What do you want? I asked. I want you, Nicholas said. I want you, Chris said. I want you, Alex said. I want you, Michael said. I smiled. I don't want any of you. I just want peace. And you're making it impossible. They stared. Here's the deal. From now on, you all work for me. Follow orders or you're out. Agreed. They stayed.
Fine, Nicholas said.
No problem, Chris said. Anything you say, Alex said. As long as I can be with you, Michael said. A CEO, a rock star, a devoted ex, and a brilliant psychopath.
Mine.
Rule 1. Alex, domestic duties, cooking, cleaning, laundry. Got it. Chris, entertainment, 24/7. At your service, my queen. Nicholas, CFO. Personal, Okay, he nodded. And Michael, problem solver. His sly smile said it all. As you wish. Good, I said. Behave, and you're rewarded. Misbehave, I paused, grinning wickedly. You're replaced. And so began my new life. Alex cooked, Nicholas paid, Chris entertained. Michael handled the mess. Friends called it being kept by 4 men. No, I corrected. I'm the one keeping them. I wasn't a backup plan. I was the queen. Morality? Optional. Shamelessness? Mandatory. Power?
Complete.